The Life of Ash's Charizard from Pokemon. This Charizard is a fire flying type Pokemon owned by Ash Ketchum. It's Ash's 5th and one of his strongest Pokemon, winning him some of his most difficult battles. Welcome to the Amagi. In today's video, we're going over the life of Ash's Charizard. Before we begin, we publish a new video every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. The Amagi's reach stretches beyond just this channel, so if you're a fan of us, please consider subscribing to our other channels and following us on all of our social media. Help us reach our goal of passing 100,000 followers on all of our accounts by the end of the year. And with that out of the way, let's get into the video. As Charmander. Charizard was first introduced as a young Charmander in the episode Charmander the Stray Pokemon. It belonged to a trainer named Damien who had promptly abandoned it, calling it a pathetic and weak Pokemon. Despite this, Charmander's loyalty to Damien still existed to such a degree that it resisted being captured. It sat on a rocky outcrop waiting for Damien to return, not knowing that Damien had long since given up on it. When a storm emerged, Charmander remained outside, clinging to a large leaf for shelter despite the flame on its tail getting dangerously low, probably due to the harshness of the weather taking a toll on its health. To make things worse, a flock of Spearow started attacking it. Thankfully, Ash and his friends arrived, saving Charmander with Pikachu and driving the Spearow away, though Ash and the others got shocked in the process. Ash and company got Charmander to a Pokemon Center and handed it to Nurse Joy for treatment. She later emerged from the examination room with good news. Charmander would pull through. The next morning though, Charmander had disappeared. A worried Ash theorized that he had gone back to the rock to wait for Damien. Team Rocket soon arrived at the scene, causing more trouble for Ash and the others by capturing Pikachu after Ash and the others fell into a hole. Charmander arrived and, thanks to Meowth translating, ordered James and Jessie to give Pikachu back or else. Team Rocket ignored the threat, ordering Charmander to beat it or else. But Charmander had the last laugh as it released a very powerful flamethrower on them, roasting them and causing Team Rocket to retreat in fright. Damien, having witnessed the scene, returned hoping to get Charmander to rejoin his team as he planned to fulfill his promise and attempt to recapture Charmander. However, Charmander realized that Damien was a selfish trainer who would never care for or respect it, and as such refused, using its tail to send the Pokeball flying back where it hit Damien in the face. Damien attempted to crush Charmander with every Pokemon he owned, but Charmander responded by giving its former trainer a flamethrower. Pikachu joined him with a Thunder Shock. Humiliated, burnt, and shocked to within an inch of his life, Damien ran away, crying for his mommy, literally, while Charmander chose to join Ash's team, and became the newest addition to the young trainer's party. Calling upon it on numerous occasions, Charmander would become one of Ash's most valuable and trusted Pokemon. In the episode after it had been captured, Ash used Charmander's help to get them through a cave. On the St. Anne cruise ship, it joined forces with a group of Charmander to successfully defeat a group of Team Rocket grunts, led by Jessie, James, and Meowth. It helped Ash and his friends after they formed a reluctant alliance with Team Rocket to escape the sunken wreckage of the ship. Once back in the open, it, along with Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Meowth, Ekans, and Koffing, was briefly separated from Ash thanks to a disastrous encounter with a group of Gyarados, and marooned on an island with giant Pokemon. It was eventually revealed to be Giovanni's Pokemon Land theme park, after they accidentally wrecked the park by destroying the robotic giant Pokemon there. The two were reunited along with the other Pokemon. Once the group had arrived in Lavender Town, Ash, hoping to catch a ghost-type Pokemon so that he could beat the Saffron City gym leader, Sabrina, chose Charmander to lead the way through the tower. Unfortunately, a haunter living in the tower paralyzed Charmander by using Lick, forcing Ash to recall it. Charmander's next chance to shine came when Ash chose him to go up against Primeape, who had evolved from a harmless Mankey. After enduring a brutal beating at the Primeape's hands, Charmander learned Rage, which gave it the opportunity to knock Primeape out after unleashing a powerful flamethrower, which finally enabled Ash to capture it. Charmander got the chance to take part in its first ever gym battle when Ash went up against the Celadon City gym leader Erica, where it fought Erica's Weepinbell. It stopped Weepinbell's Razor Leaf with a flamethrower, causing Weepinbell some discomfort as grass-type Pokemon hate the fire. Charmander knocked Weepinbell out with a Skull Bash, giving Ash the win, but Charmander lost after battling Erica's Gloom due to the fact that the stench Gloom gave off was so disgusting that it caused Charmander to hold its nose before fainting in disbelief. Although the battle was suspended due to Team Rocket attacking the gym and setting it on fire, Ash eventually won the Rainbow Badge after saving Gloom's life. Ash used Charmander again in its battle against the Fuchsia City gym leader Koga, with Charmander battling Koga's Venomoth before Team Rocket interrupted the battle. After Team Rocket had blasted off, Koga sent out his Golbat to deal with Charmander. Despite the fight not going in Charmander's favor at the beginning, it was eventually able to beat Koga's Golbat thanks to a combination of Ember and Fire Spin that gave Ash the Soul Badge. Charmander went up against a Golem owned by a biker named Chopper, but Charmander's attacks were so powerful that Golem was even burning, and even after Chopper recalled it, the heat continued to go through the Pokeball. Charmander was chosen to stop a group of rampaging Exeggutor. After it did so, Ash and the team were surprised when it evolved into Charmeleon. As Charmeleon. Unfortunately, Charmander's happy personality and loyalty disappeared upon it evolving into Charmeleon. The reason being that Charmeleon's own skill level outclassed that of Ash's, and as such, it disrespected him. During a practice battle in which Ash sought to help a Paras Cassandra owned evolve into a Parasect, it responded by going against Ash's orders and ruthlessly attacked the Paras, causing it to flee in tears. Ash was about to reprimand Charmeleon, but Charmeleon used a flamethrower on him before turning on Brock and Misty, the former of whom commented that Charmeleon was way out of control. Luckily though, Pikachu intervened and knocked Charmeleon out with a Thunderbolt, enabling Ash to recall it. Charmeleon still ignored Ash's commands until an Aerodactyl had scratched on its forehead to knock him down in the episode Attack of the Prehistoric Pokemon. It orders Aerodactyl to fight, but it refuses while it insulted Charmeleon long enough to cause him to stomp its feet angrily and roars to evolve into a Charizard as everyone sees it evolved, and a close-up of Charizard finally unleashes its flamethrower and wants to have revenge against Aerodactyl for insulting him instead of rescuing Ash from its grasp. It did its best to defeat the Aerodactyl by chasing it, but accidentally used Flamethrower on Ash before Jigglypuff puts them to sleep using Sing, while Charizard rescues Ash before falling into sleep itself. The Beginning Series. In Riddle Me This, Charizard battled Blaine's Rhydon, but because of its disobedience and lack of respect towards Ash, it left the battle and fell asleep, allowing Rhydon to win by default, while Pikachu takes the match to defeat Rhydon. In Volcanic Panic, Charizard still disobeys Ash until it watches a desperate Blaine's Magmar who's throwing rocks to stop the lava from overflowing Blaine's destroyed gym, but the lava destroys it. With that, it helps stop the lava from flowing while being aided by Brock's Onix and Geodude, and Ash's Pikachu while cooling off from Misty's Staryu and Ash's Squirtle. After they stopped the lava from flowing, both Charizard and Magmar are glaring into each other's eyes and wanted to test their strength, which leads them to battle at the top of the volcano. He listened to Ash in this battle against Magmar, as both are equally matched when unleashing their flamethrower. Charizard also managed to block and threw Magmar's powerful Fire Blast away, making Magmar knock him out with Skull Bash. Charizard retaliates in the same way, and both are seen grabbing each other's hands. Magmar manages to grab and throw Charizard into the volcano. However, Charizard survives after getting thrown in as it flies with Magmar into the sky, much to Blaine's horrible shock, allowing Ash to show Charizard its submission in midair to make Magmar dizzy, and throws it with Seismic Toss back into the volcano in an explosion, making Ash win the battle when Magmar finally passed out and collapsed to the ground. When Ash tries to return Charizard to his ball, Charizard scorches him with his flamethrower, finally showing his disobedience to him again while unleashing most of its flamethrower into the sky. He also battled Richie's Charmander and easily crushed it. Unfortunately again, his lack of respect for all other types of Pokemon cost Ash his match against Richie in the Pokemon League, as it refused to battle Richie's Pikachu. Charizard retained its disobedience in the episode Palette Party Panic, where Team Rocket managed to steal Pikachu and escape from the Meowth balloon. After Pidgeotto was hit from Arbok's Poison Sting, Ash releases it to save Pikachu, but it fails and does not listen when it looked down at a bunch of fruits. However, Team Rocket managed to throw bombs throughout Pallet Town until they destroyed the fruits that Charizard wanted to eat, causing the former to get enraged. When Team Rocket continues to throw bombs at Charizard, it retaliates by using its wings to whack the bombs back at Team Rocket, leaving them to scream as the balloon explodes, causing them to blast off again. Charizard continues to get out of control by firing its flamethrower despite Ash's attempts to put it back into its Pokeball, due to having been hit with its flamethrower on his face. It defeated a trainer's Tauros in one hit, only to go on a rampage that was contained by the Elite Four member Lorelei. It also used Flamethrower on Ash when it was trying to make a sled to use against Danny. Ash dodged somehow, and the Flamethrower made the perfect sled, helping Ash win the round. As he won the round, Charizard embarrassed Ash. In A Way Off Day Off, Charizard has a short rivalry with an elderly Tracy's Scyther. When Team Rocket attempts to steal all of Ash, Misty, and Tracy's Pokemon by putting them to sleep with sleep powder made by James's Victory Bell, Charizard and Scyther are the ones to see their motives of stealing, and both confronted them. After Team Rocket is blasted off by Scyther's Skull Bash, Charizard and Scyther finally set their differences aside and return to their respective territory. A turning point in their relationship came when Ash chose Charizard to battle Tad's Poliwrath. After Charizard's refusal to obey him cost Ash the max and went on another rampage, Charizard was frozen by Poliwrath's Ice Beam, leaving its tail flame on the verge of going out again because of its frozen body. Throughout the night, Ash resolved to keep Charizard warm, rubbing it with his hands to provide heat in the form of friction, which risked rubbing his hands raw. Before the night ended, Ash told his Pokemon that he only wanted to be good enough for it, and reminded Charizard of how they had been together since it was a Charmander, which Charizard recollected as it remembered how Ash saved its life as a Charmander and realizes how badly it treated its trainer after seeing how much Ash deeply cared for it. After seeing his efforts to save it from certain death, Charizard's loyalty to Ash returned in full force. The best part of Charmander's pre-evolved personality was back. It blasted off Team Rocket with its newly learned Dragon Rage and had a rematch with Tad's Poliwrath, winning via its signature move, Seismic Toss. Charizard helped Ash in his battles with Luana and Drake, fighting alongside Pikachu against Luana's Marowak and Alakazam, and narrowly defeating Drake's Electabuzz with Seismic Toss. Charizard then battled Drake's Dragonite. Even with the damage it had taken in its battle with Electabuzz, it held its own against the more experienced pseudo-legendary Pokemon. In the end, their Dragon Rages collided. Although Dragonite was injured by the explosion, Charizard fainted and Dragonite still had enough energy to defeat Ash's Squirtle and Tauros before finally being defeated by Pikachu. Gold and Silver Series. Charizard was used in Ash's first Johto gym battle and defeated Faulkner's Pidgeot with Seismic Toss. Charizard was also used in Ash's trainer battles, easily winning every battle. In Charizard's Burning Ambitions, Charizard is unable to fly properly while being mounted by Ash, which leads them to crash into the forest and running uphill to catch up with the others. When Charizard entered the Charcific Valley, it became surprised horribly to see wild Charizard that are much taller and more powerful than it. Despite Liza's warnings, it immediately challenged one of the many Charizards that were there, only to be humiliated at its constant losses and severe injuries even when it deflects its sneak attacks. Charla, which is Liza's only Pokemon, threw it out into a lake before Liza sealed the doors to the valley, barring Charizard from any chance of regaining entry. Team Rocket respected Charizard as a fellow loser and kept it alive while he was in the lake. Next, Team Rocket attacked the valley, but Charizard defended it, just as they planned. They say some encouraging words and saluted Charizard before he sent them blasting off. Team Rocket's plan was to use that scene to make Charizard look like a hero and get accepted in, and it worked. Ash gave Charizard the option to stay and train